So I recently came across an intriguing concept discussed in an insider article about overemployment, shedding light on a growing trend. So the story essentially follows Brian Roque, who after losing his job at Amazon, decides to work for both IBM and Meta simultaneously, a practice he discovers is more common than expected. The article explores this phenomenon where professionals secretly take on multiple remote full-time jobs simultaneously during the pandemic. Given the significant implications for recruiting, today's video is going to aim to dissect how the surge in remote work has fueled the overemployment trend. It provides insights into the challenges and opportunities this trend presents for recruiters, reshaping various facets of the recruitment process and the dynamics of the modern workforce. For those who are new, welcome. My name is Preston. I'm a technical recruiter running my own agency. I share weekly videos documenting my recruiting career, providing career job search advice, and also discussing the latest tech and recruiting trends. If you find this content valuable and exciting, please consider supporting a fellow recruiter. Give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It would really mean a lot. So picture this. Overemployment is when someone's rocking more than one full-time job at the same time. The trend kicked off in 2020 right when the pandemic was throwing everyone for a loop. People were dealing with job layoffs, health worries, and some folks getting snubbed for promotions. So what did they do? They started taking on extra jobs or side gigs to make ends meet. But here's a twist. Instead of juggling perhaps part-time retail or random freelance gigs with all sorts of hours, some savvy folks started using overemployment tactics to handle their cash needs. Thanks to the flexibility of remote work, people can now handle multiple jobs without breaking a sweat. Overemployment wasn't just about avoiding layoffs anymore. It really became this whole strategy for folks chasing economic needs, job security, and the dream of financial freedom. Inflation and the crazy cost of living only added to the hustle. Latest stats from the Labor Department essentially shows that nearly 8.4 million Americans were holding down multiple jobs in October 2023, a sign that folks are feeling the pinch. And get this, there's a whole community of around 300,000 members on Discord and Reddit swapping tips and high-fiving each other for making this overemployment thing work. Now the tricky part, well, when even remote workers pulling in six figures start dabbling in overemployment, gotta keep it on the down low. Otherwise, they risk getting the boot. But let's get real about the work lingo. Overemployment, side hustles, and freelancing, they're all different. Overemployment, well, that's when you're full throttle with multiple full-time gigs. Side hustles, they're like the extra gigs you do on the side, maybe for some extra cash for personal satisfaction. Freelancing, that's more of a project-based, flexible kind of deal. So how does overemployment work in the wild? People rank their jobs like it's a playlist. J1's the headliner, J2's the backup, and so on. It's all about raking in the cash while keeping those weekly hours low and stable. They might snag lower level gigs to cut down on responsibilities, giving just enough to meet the requirements. With full-time paychecks double the 401ks and health benefits crisscrossing, they're banking on saving more, maybe even scoring that dream home or retiring early. But here's the flip side. Juggling all these jobs can lead to significant burnout. Sure, you're rolling in cash, but is it worth it when you're running out of hours to enjoy it? Sometimes it works like a charm, but it might also raise eyebrows in the workplace. Employers and recruiters might start digging if they catch a whiff of slacking off. So it's a tightrope act, balancing financial goals and not burning out on the way. So let's chat about the recruiter's dilemma. You know overemployment, right? It's throwing a curveball at us recruiters. And here's why it's a bit of a head scratcher. First up, trying to suss out and vet candidates in the overemployment game is like navigating a maze blindfolded. Some candidates aren't spilling all the beans about their multiple jobs, leaving us with a bit of a guessing game. It's a challenge to figure out who's all in for a new gig and who might be stretching themselves too thin. You can imagine that can mess with project timelines and team vibes. Then there's the loyalty shuffle. Overemployment is shaking up the old school idea of employees sticking with one company for a long haul. Finding folks committed to a long-term relationship with just one employer is becoming a bit like a searching for a needle in the haystack. We're dealing with a workforce that's becoming more, let's say, free-spirited, making it a puzzle to build and keep stable long-term teams. And oh, team dynamics? Well, that's a whole other ballgame. Managing a team with members juggling multiple gigs can stir up conflicts and mess with the whole collaboration vibe. It's like spinning plates, and sometimes the team's performance takes a hit. As we're easing back into this in-person work thing, there's a new set of hurdles. Picture this. Conflicts popping up between what different employers expect and the need for everyone to show up in person. We're talking about scheduling acrobatics, attendance juggling, and making sure our candidates can meet the expectations of both roles, especially when being on-site is a must. So the recruiter's dilemma is basically us dealing with the challenges of vetting candidates effectively, figuring out this loyalty switcheroo, and keeping our teams in sync, and wading through the complications of going back to an in-person work situation. All of this jazz, and we're doing it in a world where candidates are rocking multiple jobs at the same time. Fun times, right? Remote work? Well, it's kind of like the golden ticket for handling multiple job commitments. People can juggle tasks and responsibilities all while chilling in their PJs at home. Thanks to digital tools, communication apps, and project management software, people can really rock multiple jobs without breaking a sweat. And you know what? The whole pandemic situation just turbocharged this trend even further, making it not just okay, but kind of cool for people to be pulling double duty. And there's always a but. Managing employees with multiple gigs. That's where things get tricky. Keeping focused on each role can be a struggle and productivity might take a hit. Coordinating schedules between different employers, well, good luck. It's like playing Tetris with calendars and shifts. And let's be real, someone might drop the ball. Then there's the rule book. When you've got employees doing double job hustle, they might accidentally step on some corporate toes. Think non-complete clauses and legal risks. It's like walking through a legal minefield. And now we're inching back to an in-person work situation. Imagine the chaos. You got overemployment folks trying to be in two places at once. Communicating? It's a bit like playing hide and seek, and team discussions might turn to a game of phone tag, could get messy. Plus, team members rocking multiple jobs might be pulling their weight equally, leading to some raised eyebrows potential office drama. But here's the real talk. Overemployment might mess with timeliness and team vibes. With everyone juggling so much, projects might take a hit, and the whole team spirit thing, well, it's like trying to build a sandcastle when the tide's coming in, a bit messy. So while remote work gives the green light to overemployment managing employees with a double or triple work life, it's a roller coaster of time management, rulebook tap dancing, and potential team turbulence. Welcome to the wild world of HR, right? Is overemployment breaking the law? Well, according to the folks over at overemployed.com, no. It's generally legal to juggle multiple remote jobs. In the US, we play by the at-will employment rulebook, making it a bit of a free market dance between employers and employees. So legally speaking, working more than one remote gig is fair game, but let's throw a twist in there. So while there are some laws out there that frown upon working for more than one company, being overemployed doesn't grant you immunity. You could still find yourself on the chopping block at any moment if it's a no-no according to workplace policies. Overemployeds.com wisdom? Well, it's probably a good idea to chat with a lawyer to fully wrap your head around the risks. Oh, and steer clear of jobs that might stir up conflicts of interest. It's like a preemptive strike against potential headaches. Hiring managers want assurances the person they're bringing on board will not just meet but exceed expectations. What you do on the side is usually your own business unless it somehow messes with the company's mojo. So whether it's a part-time gig or full-time hustle, every candidate needs to bring the energy, know their stuff, and basically show that they're the superhero for the job. Here are some ways to tackle overemployment head-on. Recruiters should regularly evaluate the competitiveness of a team's salary and benefits in comparison to the local market. If there is a significant gap, consider offering competitive salaries and attractive benefits can discourage employees from seeking supplemental income elsewhere. A well-compensated team is less likely to engage in overemployment to meet financial needs. Recruiters can also proactively address the issues of overemployment by revising employment contracts. Introducing clauses that explicitly discourage or restrict overemployment can also set clear expectations. This legal framework will reinforce the company's stance on employees holding multiple jobs that might interfere with their primary responsibilities. Guiding employees on their career paths within the organization is important. Recruiters can work with HR managers to develop clear career development roadmaps for employees. These roadmaps will outline potential career progressions within the company, helping employees make informed decisions about their long-term goals. By providing a structured path, recruiters can promote a sense of stability and commitment. Regular evaluation of employee performance is crucial. Recruiters should monitor workloads, deadlines, and overall performance to identify signs of potential overemployment. Additionally, implementing employee engagement activities such as team building exercises and recognition programs can also create a positive work environment. Engaged employees are more likely to be committed to their roles, reducing the temptation to seek additional employment. While employee monitoring softwares can be a valuable tool for identifying potential issues related to overemployment, it should be used cautiously. Respect for privacy is paramount, and employees should be informed about the purpose and the extent of monitoring. The software can help recruiters track work patterns, productivity, and potential conflicts arising from multiple job commitments. However, a balanced approach is essential to avoid negatively impacting employee morale. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider supporting us. Please subscribe, hit that bell. Thank you so much again, really appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.